I'm Hannah Stitfall and I've spent the last 10 years filming and photographing animals in the wild. But it's urban areas like this, that are now our fastest growing habitat on Earth. So now I'm on a mission to photograph some of my favourite urban species and find out why and how they're living alongside us. So today I'm looking for a tiny mammal that's hiding in one of Europe's most beautiful capital cities, Vienna. Now it's home to nearly 2 million people, but 50% of the city is green space. Now roe deer, red squirrels and kestrels, they've all made their home here. But what we're looking for is probably one of the fastest declining mammals in Europe, but it's set up one of its strongholds here in Vienna. In fact, the population here is quite possibly one of the most important in the entire of Europe. And what I'm looking for are wild hamsters. This is Central Cemetery, Vienna's biggest, with over 3 million people buried here and over 500 acres of green space. Now, hamsters only grow up to around 30 centimetres long, so I'm going to have to be pretty lucky to spot one today. So it's first thing in the morning and I've come really early to the cemetery to try and see the hamsters, because this is one of the best times of day to see them, as there's nobody around, so they don't have to avoid people whilst foraging. So I'm going to set up and hopefully I get my photograph. I've just seen my first hamster. It's right in front of me. You can see it. Where is it? I'm going to set my camera up. Hi! Oh my god, they're so big! Before long, the hamsters start popping out of the ground everywhere. They're busy foraging through the cemetery, looking for the best food to take back to their burrows. Despite the hamsters here having adapted to the noises of the city, they still keep out a watchful eye, as predators are never too far away, and they may need to quickly escape back down into their burrows. Hamsters tend to be out early in the morning and later in the evening, so while they return to the safety of the underground, I'm going to look around and see what other wildlife is still awake. Just like the hamsters, there's another rodent which is busy making its home around the famous graves here, showing just how safe this green oasis has become for wildlife. So we found Beethoven's grave, and just above it there's a red squirrel, and the red squirrel's building a drain. It's kind of like a nest, and it's jumping from tree to tree, just nibbling off the tops of the branches to build the drain out of, right above Beethoven. One thing about being here this early in the cemetery is that there's nobody around, and you get to see all the other wildlife that lives here. I mean, we haven't been here that long and I've already seen 12 red squirrels, roe deer, woodpeckers, so it really is a biodiversity hotspot. I want to learn more about the hamsters living here, so I'm meeting up with Thomas Frolic of the Biodiversity at the Cemeteries project to learn more. So the hamsters, I mean, they're pretty spectacular, aren't they? Absolutely gorgeous, in fact. How many do you have here in this cemetery? Do we know, or?
They're such lovely animals. I really love them. And we have about 70 to 100 individuals here, so it's a quite nice population in the cemetery, and it's quite unique.
And what do people in Vienna think of the hamsters being here?
Most of them don't know that they're wild animals, but they are. And they're critically endangered, and to educate these people is quite important for us in our project.
Because I was reading that they've become quite well adapted to agricultural land, but what's happening to them in rural areas? Why are they doing better now in cities?
Just imagine what a farmer is doing to his fields. So there are a lot of machines, there's a lot of work, and the hamsters can't live in peace there. And here at the cemetery, it's not so highly frequented by people and visitors, and that's why they can live in peace.
What adaptations do they have for life in the city?
The interesting thing here in the graveyards and the cemetery is that hamsters adapted to eating candle wax. So what's here? Candles. And they go and try to steal the candles of mourning people, and they can eat it because it's a source of fat and they can digest it. And we have a lot of sightings where a hamster is trying to steal a candle from a grave and try to push it in the burrows. It's quite cute actually.
I want to keep trying to get my photograph, so I asked Thomas to show me their burrows here so I can find them for myself later. Hamster burrows are complex structures stretching underground. They have their own areas, including a storage room, a bedroom, and even a bathroom. Now that I know what I'm looking for, I feel confident enough to try by myself in a different cemetery the following day, where I've heard they're even more common. So I'm going to see if I can get even closer. Even though this cemetery is surrounded by skyscrapers and busy roads, I've heard the hamsters are thriving. So Thomas said that I need to look for those burrows in the ground, and I found some just here. Here's one. Here's one. Can you see that? That's a perfect hamster burrow. And then if I come over here, just on the corner, there's one here as well. See that? That's perfect for hamsters. So I'm definitely in the right. There's a hamster. That's a hamster. Oh my God. There's a hamster. There's a hamster. There's a hamster standing up over there. Right, I'm going to try and get a little bit closer. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to get my camera out and try and get a photograph. The hamsters are everywhere here, but they're just so quick, it's difficult to get a photo of one. After a few near misses, I work out the main route that this little one is using to take food back to its burrow. This one is trying to grab the fresh flowers before anyone else gets a look in. So I've got a hamster just there, look, you see him? It's collecting what looks like a type of hazelnut. Stuffing their cheeks full is a behaviour seen both in wild and domestic hamsters. Hamsters can pack a surprising amount of food inside these cheek pouches, which helps them get enough in their stores for winter hibernation. See how big the cheeks are? One of Europe's most critically endangered, probably one of the fastest declining mammals. Right there, collecting his winter store. I've managed to get a photograph and I am really pleased with it. Absolutely gorgeous this is. Look at him, standing up, there he is in all of his glory. It's been incredible spending time with the wild hamsters here in Vienna, and it shows us that despite urban areas generally having a negative effect on wildlife, that if certain species can adapt quick enough and well enough, that cities can actually become almost islands of protection for them if they're given the chance.